You've seen all kinds of movies, but you've never seen anything like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. The Rocky Horror Picture Show is wonderfully weird. I'm your new commander. You now are my prisoner. They're probably foreigners with ways different than our own. It's fabulously freaky. It's a trip to transsexual Transylvania. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. Transsexual Transylvania. The story is strange. But tonight is the night that my beautiful creature is destined to be born. The songs are super. The scenery is smashing. The cast is completely crazy. This isn't the Junior Chamber of Commerce, Brad. There's a mad scientist named Frank N. Furter. Come up to the lab and see what's on the slab. And Rocky, his incredible creature.
I knew he was in with a bad crowd, but it was worse than I imagined.
A sinister servant named Riff Raff. I remember doing the Time Lord. And Brad and Janet.
My name's Brad Majors.
Just a couple of clean-cut kids.
This is my fiancée, Janet Weiss.
Touch me. I wanna be dirty.
Eddie. Magenta. Columbia. Dr. Scott.
Great Scott!
So give yourself over to absolute pleasure. See the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Let's do the time for again.
Yes. So live it hurts.
That is true.
I've got a Meatloaf story.
And I have a Rocky Horror Picture story.
Oh, we all have a Rocky Horror Picture Show story.
I may say things you did not know.
Oh, yes. All right, well, you're listening to Transparency and Merit. It's 2 words. Transparencyandmerit.com. You can check out our new website. And we're live. All right, so the Rocky Horror Picture Show, that trailer is awesome.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something, Joe. This film had a huge cultural influence, and I'm going to be honest here. I'm not, unless you're in the audience and doing the midnight thing and dancing and stuff. I don't find, like, as far as a film goes, I'm not that big of a fan of it, but.
Yes, but
all kinds of movies.
Sorry, I wanted to get the lips up. Yes.
It has had a very large cultural impact, and in more ways than one, it really crystallized the midnight movie phase, the cult. As I was Mr. Midnight Movie, it really kind of crystallized that. His most famous midnight movie.
And I was the hated Jewish producer.
Yes.
Still hated. Internet
Sometimes known as the Jackal producer.
Wow. I never realized that at one point or another, I was getting used to the abuse, because when I started going to just by Joe or JP, I didn't have half the drama. Yeah. If I entered a thread on YouTube or signed up for a website, there's always some kind, as Jewish producer, there was always a comment. Always.
Yeah. And we may, because there was a sequel. Did you know that there was a sequel to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Joe?
Gosh. I just got hit over the head with a coconut. I don't remember.
Now, actually, there was more than, for my thing is, there was more than one. There was a remake and there was a sequel.
When were those in the late 2000s? Like 2010s?
Have you heard of the film Shock Treatment?
I have. Yes. Yes. It was darn. I don't know if I ever saw it. Oops. Don't know if I ever saw it, but I do know of it. Did you see that?
I think I saw bits and pieces of it. I may have rented it one time, but I don't remember. But it looked kind of a little bit interesting to a degree. But
yeah, I'm just going to play a little bit in the background.
Oh, the whole film. So the whole film is.
Oh, you could pull it up. Yeah.
Bert brought them over from Europe.
Oh?
They had a very popular series together. It's still rerun in a lot of countries. You must have seen them in Dentonvale.
No, I never watched that.
But I'm afraid there's only one solution, isn't there, folks? 1, 2, 3.
See, some of the same cast from Rocky Horror was in it.
Cast and kind of the weird quirkiness. But let's get back to the Rocky Horror Picture Show and why.
Yes.
Why that film is such a cult following and has what it was. It was really the first and maybe even one of the only gay-themed films where it was about having fun and not taking things too seriously. The gay-themed film was before that, All the Boys in the Band, and I don't know if there were any others before that, which was a breakthrough film, but it was all about accepting your homosexuality.
I know that Rocky Horror Picture Show played at a theater near my house for at least 10 years. The theater went out of business, and it was still playing. I think the New Art over there in Santa Monica still runs it.
Yeah, occasionally it does. Now, can we do a trailer for All the Boys in the Band?
All right. Why do you want to see that?
Well, it's kind of it kind of goes up to the difference between the Rocky Horror Picture Show and the film All the Boys in the Band.
Yeah, and this was made in 1970. I want to say, and it was made. Nobody. Do you know who made it? The same guy who made The Exorcist, William Friedkin.
Yeah, and This, by the way, when this came out, homosexuality was still a crime.
Times have changed, and we've often rewound the clock since the Puritans got the shock when they landed on Plymouth Rock. If today any shock they should try to stem, instead of landing on Plymouth Rock would land on them.
Hey, everybody. Game time.
In olden days, a glimpse of stocking was looked on as something shocking. Now heaven knows, anything goes.
I'll be your topless cocktail waitress.
Girl, days totally nice to bear. And always can afterwards anything goes. Anything goes.
Well, Harold, happy birthday. You're just in time for the floor show.
From me to you, darling, how do you like it?
Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Harold.
Anyone's gone out today and goes back today and likes white today and days night today. When those guys today, the wind dies today, I should say, cheers, loves.
Thanks, Sonny. You live with your parents?
Yeah, but it's all right. They're gay.
So go on, a great romancer. I know that you're bound to answer when I knows anything goes.
I couldn't care less about what people do, as long as they don't do it in public.
Just think of those shots you got, and those knocks you got, and those blues you got, from that news you got, and those pains you got, if any brains you got, from those little radios.
It's my right to lead my sex life without answering to anybody.
So I'm not a great romancer, I know it, downtown, so
Art Crowley's hilarious play, The Boys in the Band, is now a movie. It's not a musical.
Boy, that I've never seen it, and I never even knew that was the theme of the movie. It was just a movie that I flew under my radar and under my gaydar, apparently.
Yeah, well, hey, I remember my dad, because I was looking at films that were at the New Art, and one of them was All the Boys in the Band. And I said, "What's All the Boys in the Band?" And Dad said, "The F word. It's a F film," is what he said.
It's just the boys in the band, not all the boys in the band.
Oh, I thought did I say all the all the boys in the band?
All the boys in the family.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, and it's unique, but it's kind of it's kind of a downer. It ends on kind of a downer note, and it's about accepting.
Now, does that blonde-haired guy who says it should be done in private, does he end up snapping and killing somebody?
No. Now there was a film afterwards that went on the killing craze. Because there are films in between and right after the Rocky Horror Picture Show that were kind of on the negative side of gayness. Did you ever hear about the movie Cruising?
Yeah, another movie I've heard about many times. I've never seen.
Now it was for a while. Film was free on YouTube, by the way.
Let's see that trailer really quick. Al Pacino. Dark.
How would you like to disappear?
Disappear?
Go undercover.
Look how dark this is.
You know this man?
Who's here? I'm here. You're here.
These victims are all the same physical type.
What about him, Skip?
Late 20s, 140, 150 pounds. Dark hair, dark eyes.
Have you ever seen him before?
I want to send you out there to see if you can attract this guy.
How, where?
A New York City detective in search of a killer is about to disappear into the night.
Is it dangerous?
I can't talk about it.
How do you know you're going to end up the same person when it's over?
An odyssey to the edge of city life.
Bartenders are starting to give me some information. There's this name keeps popping up all the time. There he is. The one with the hat. Is that the one that followed you? Yeah. Why didn't you go with him? I don't know. I think you should check him.
You want to play? I'll play with you.
He's the wrong guy.
Prince don't match.
What he sees
Who's here?
what he feels,
I don't think I can do the job, Captain. I don't think I can handle it. I'm here. There's just stuff going down. I don't think I can deal with it.
Yes! Yes!
You here?
what he experiences,
Yes!
what he discovers will change his life forever. Al Pacino.
Who's here? I'm here. You're here.
Cruising.
Wow. Yeah, I was waiting for the punchline there. Like, you know, the big deal is at the end. He just, you know, he finally takes a big cock in the butt.
Yeah. Well, you know, now, there was hate. Someone said there was hate crime connections, and in 1990, one of the guys who Ron Newson, I forget how to say his name, but the guy who wrote the screenplay to Philadelphia, claimed he and his boyfriend were threatened with violence by a group of men who stated cruising was their motivation. And 2 months after the film was released, a bar prominently displayed in the movie came under attack by a man with a submachine gun, killing 2 patrons, wounding 5. Friedkin, who directed the film, refused to comment on the attack. A 2016 article in the New Yorker, in the New York Times, identifies the culprit of the shooting as Ronald K. Quimbley, formerly an officer with the New York City Police. With the New York City Police Transit, or the Transit Police.
Anyways, I don't know what the hell you're reading, but Wayne makes a great point. But he says if this movie came out 10 years later, it wouldn't have been well received because of HIV. But it was made in 1980s, so you're not even 10 years, maybe a couple years later, really.
He's talking about All the Boys in the Band, and then the other film.
Oh, okay. I thought he was on
Cruising.
Okay, that makes more sense.
And then, see, the thing is, afterwards, after, by the mid-'80s, a lot of the gay-themed films were dealing with AIDS. I mean, AIDS was a huge thing within the gay community. And, yeah, this film basically... And this film was before all of that. You know, Rocky Horror Picture Show was kind of before all that, and it's in between the serious violence of a film like Cruising which goes to the dark side of, I guess you would call, the gay community. I don't know if there was ever, this movie Cruising was even based on an actual killer. They also, another film they did was The Detective with Frank Sinatra, that dealt with a guy who was killing gays. And that was actually before All the Boys in the Band. But the Detective didn't get into the gay scene, and actually, up until 1974, homosexuality was considered, I believe, wasn't it considered a mental disorder? And they actually, police officers would actually arrest, like they bust gay bars, and they.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
No, you're not. You're gonna tense your muscles and get out the notebook. Male, Caucasian, lying nude on floor. Left side of skull crushed. Cuts on face and chest. Fingers shredded. Index and thumb of right hand missing. Nestle, you're a miserable son of a bitch.
Roderick Thorpe's #1 bestseller, a Literary Guild selection. Now, an adult powerhouse on the screen. You're Joe Leland, detective, prowling a city sick with violence, full of junkies, prostitutes, and perverts.
Don't hurt your shit. All right, baby. Come on. You're not gonna tell my parents, are you? But you know it. No.
Still using a junk.
They're gonna bust me.
She's a whore, she's a pusher, she's an addict, and she's 19 years old. This town's crawling with kids the same age, all going the same route. Part of the great society.
The detective gives full play to Sinatra's fabulous talents in what has to be one of the year's most dynamic roles.
What's that? Agitators. They do not like living in garbage cans. Joe, that's none of our business. That's right, it's none of our business. Somebody doesn't do something about those garbage cans. You're gonna see the goddamnest explosion gonna tear this nation right down the middle.
Co-starring Lee Remick as Karen, who needed Joe desperately.
You know what? This is an underserved movie, and probably in some ways kind of relevant today.
Well,
wow! Look at those trapezoids! Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
wow! What a neck!
Yeah, I'll tell you something though about Lee Remick.
Yes.
But I was going to say about Lee Remick, but this film had much more of a. I mean, like if we're dealing with cop films and the evolution of cop films, this was before Dirty Harry. He was kind of a liberal kind of cop. And then Dirty Harry came out, and the conservative cop, came about.
Have me busted. If you have me busted, you'll have to bust half the people in the department for being on the take. He wasn't nice, was he? Now, come on, tell me, am I wrong? Was he nice?
He was a bitch.
Bitch. Face it, Felix. Face it. Say it. You'll feel better for it. You can't walk around the rest of your life with a thing like that on your head.
Who?
You cut him with a knife, didn't you? And then you threw his fingers on the knife off the Queensboro Bridge, didn't you? You did it, Felix. You killed him. You crushed his skull, didn't you?
Oh.
Didn't you? You hit him.
I hit him.
Louder.
Oh.
Say it louder.
I killed him. I killed him.
You know what sex was like for me? I'd walk down the street or go to a bar and meet somebody, anybody, somebody I never knew before, and have an affair with them.
That's Lee Remick.
Yep.
Deserves that man name.
It's the only way I could do it. And the only one ever made me feel like a woman.
Wow. The only man to ever make me feel like a woman, huh? Wow, that's very telling.
Yeah.
Truth in movies. Right there.
Hey.
Oops.
Do it. You're the only one ever made me feel like a woman.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So yeah, this is the movie. You know what? It's another one I've never seen.
Yeah.
Good ones.
Well, I'll tell you something, Joe. It had a homosexual theme to it, and back then, like I said, it was a little bit, and it was progressive for its time, but it was still at the time when homosexuality was illegal. You know, Fireworks, 1947, is a homework experiment.
Kenneth Anger. Wow, 1947?
That is interesting.
Let's see if we can find a trailer for Fireworks. As soon as I can spell it.
If you learn to spell set, this is actually 1947.
Yeah.
I don't think it came out though. It's more of an experimental thing. Huh? Probably shot in someone's backyard.
Yeah. Well, that's a 13-minute clip. We'll just watch a second of it.
And I don't think this was really shot in 47, by the way. But that's always a possibility.
Yeah, well, 17 years old. It's possible.
So what I mean? Before it looks kind of like, now it does look like a 47. But I'd have to look more into that before I really make a decision. Because I haven't heard of that, but like I said, there was although he wasn't gay. All the Ed Wood films about transsexuality, but it wasn't. I mean, Ed Wood was heterosexual and didn't have a homosexual bone in his body.
So, are you going to tell us your story about the Rocky Horror Picture Show, or what?
Well, no, I just told you that they had made sequels. And they actually made a remake called "Let's Do the Time Warp Again." You want to take a look at that, Joe?
I don't want to play the song.
No, I'm talking about the movie.
Oh, what is it called? The Time Warp trailer.
Time Warp Again.
Huh. Well, let's see. Oh wait, that's not it.
And his gay fingers.
I can't find it. 1981. No, that's a sci-fi film. Can't find it.
The Rocky Horror. I think it's called the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Let's Do the Time Warp Again.
Oh.
2016.
I don't know if this is it. This is all I could find from 2016.
Let's take a look. I'm not even seeing anything.
Let's do time warp again.
That's it.
So let's plan it. Just please don't tell me to can it. I've one thing to say, and that's damn it, Janet. I love you. Let's do the time warp again. try to ignore.
So remind me to invest in a new computer for you, because this one, not the, but it's now this woman who did it comes from Mobile, Alabama. I think to make a real villain, though, it should have been someone like Cat Black, a person whom I absolutely despise. She's one of those social justice warrior bullshitters. So yeah, I mean, the film has had a cult following, and it's not playing anymore. I mean, if this pandemic hadn't come around, the film would still be, there would still be a Rocky Horror Picture Show at midnight somewhere that me and Joe could go to, and just go boo. I think we should bring lightsabers.
Do some research.
Yes. Now, I think it was proposed that we're going to do a show on Election Day where you blaze.
That is on the table. I think we should do a very stony election night.
Yes.
I do. I think we should have some keywords, and every time that keyword is mentioned, I will take a bong load rip.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to be watching on that day, or
Right.
like whose guests we're going to have on, but this will be an election day that we will soon not forget.
Yes. Yes.
The fate of the free world is up at hand, and who knows how things are going to happen, what's going to happen.
Well, they're probably going to stop having the sun, so go outside and get yourselves a tan.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't think we'll know on I think this is one election where we will not know what the outcome will be. We're not going to know whether it's going to be old man Biden or old man Trump, or it goes to the House and it's old lady, what the hell's her name? Pelosi. Maybe with a Pelosi and a Vice President Pence, just hogging up the scene. Who knows what the hell's going to happen in this horror show known as America? And by the way, Joe, we are living a horror show. And I think tomorrow on Halloween, maybe we'll do a thing on, all of the movies that dealt with pandemics. The zombies, the sicknesses, where people where there was like the Death Strain movies that happened.
Were you ever a Columbo fan? I liked Columbo. All my friends' grandparents were heavily into Columbo.
I wanted to mention Fritz the Cat played at midnight. Yeah, you know what? Fritz the Cat, heavy metal. Fritz the Cat came out, of course, before heavy metal and was the first X-rated cartoon movie, and it was a pretty good film. And Wayne is now falling asleep, probably because we mentioned the election. Wayne actually hates hearing about the election, or maybe
it's a death blow to any conversation. It's
just absolutely bored.
No two people are gonna agree with each other, or they're gonna go to sleep like Wayne. But Wayne's an old geezer, so he probably falls asleep anyways.
Well, he probably, like I said, he remembers Harry Truman and and who was it? Roosevelt, Truman, old Ike.
Ike. Yeah, old side.
But I guess this was a remake, a cult classic, Reborn. And if I were to remake it, I'd be, I think there, again, with all this craziness going on, I would love to almost do a play where we get all of these, the woke versus the unwoke, and it would be an amazing, just live play that we turn into a movie and then we do another live play. I think we can do stuff that's really amazing. I have plenty of ideas out there. You know, we'd have people dress up like Antifa, the Proud Boys, all
And
that.
even that green chick from Star Trek.
Oh yeah,
We got to have her show up.
we can just have it all over the place. Anyway, Joe, I'm getting a little bit tired, and I do want to go to Betty Boo. And I apologize for being
Yes.
a disappointment. For me, it was kind of like when I saw the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It was a disappointment for me.
I think we extinguished the point. But yeah, it is Halloween tomorrow, so maybe we can come back even stronger.
I think we need to do a film about outbreak
Yes.
and pandemic films, where we just talk about all of our favorite films that where there was mayhem and disease. You know, from the Andromeda Strain,
Parasite.
The Omega Man, Dawn of the Dead,
The Blob.
The Blob,
Blobba.
Lava.
All right. Cool.
By the way, I think
Go to the website. Yeah, go to our website, debbiedaily.com. I'm kidding. It's transparencyandmerit.com.
You know, we picked, and I don't know, maybe there could be a vote. Would Jimmy Lethal be better? You know, like the new star of Jimmy Lethal. I have 3 actors for the star of the new Rocky Horror Picture Show. And maybe you guys in the comment section could pick who you think. And this is those who know our Discord and stuff, and those who've known us for a couple of years. These are personal friends of ours, and maybe not for people we'd love to hang out with and maybe blaze up with. Number 1, Jimmy Lethal.
Drink some moonshine. Yes.
Jimmy Lethal.
Yes.
Actually, I got 4 actors, and one of them may not like it, but okay, Jimmy Lethal is a transvestite. Okay, and
Yes.
and I'm going to skim it in between 2 females. So Jimmy Lethal, Angela Utley.
Oh God. Why?
I'm just a sweet tramp.
I would say Dawn. Maybe we could do Dawn.
Okay, because I'm picking. Okay, I said Jimmy Lethal. I said Angela Utley. I said Curtis Green.
Yes, Curtis Green, of course.
And you know what? To bring him back from the dead, maybe, because this is kind of spooky.
Bill Wagner.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Bill Wagner, and then maybe Todd Morris. Got a flat. How about that? And then Debbie Daly.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe Victor. You can always say Liz.
Damn it, Debbie.
Damn it. Who else?
Yes.
Who else?
Liz, of course. Maybe we could throw in Willie. I could see a part for Willie.
Yeah, Willie could play Meatloaf.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of more Kings of Talk.
Oh yes. Kings of Talk. Maybe if there's any way we could go back and get old Katie D. For
Katie D. Yes.
I think we have the plot for an epic film, an epic midnight movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Katie D. How about David Fiker?
Yes, David Fiker and Andy Bong. Andy Bong.
In the Time Warp. He could sing it too, man. Oh, Andy Bong would be amazing. And then, God, my mind is starting to go. But I
Well,
could
let's
see.
call it.
I
Let's
could see.
call it.
Wait. I could see David Pfeiffer goes, I was just in for gastric bypass surgery. What did they do to me? This is a time warp. Okay. All right.
Let's do the time warp again.
Find Andy Bond. Oh, and Chris Nelson.
Yes.
This guy's an asshole. Fuck you.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll end it here with a cool. Thank you for transparency and merits.
Time is fleeting.
It is.
Madness takes its toll.